Hey there, this is KSRB87 again. Today I'm bringing you another deck profile. This time is Fascinating Fiends, or Mezmerizing Maneaters, whichever they're going to finally call them. But this is a ninja variant. I have a Beatron variant built, or at least built and set up on DN. It's like how I wanted to build it. But for now, when I made the physical proxies for Fascinating Fiends, I decided to go with my ninja variant first. And if I switch to the Beatron variant and start testing that one, I will showcase that one on here too, and you'll get to see that one. But starting off, we have 3 Tryon, the Fascinating Fiend. In case you don't know what she does, she's the 1600 level 4 insect. She's unaffected by the effects of hole and trap hole cards, except for dark trap hole. And when this card is normal summoned, you can add a hole or trap hole and normal trap card from your deck to your hand, except for dark trap hole. And it also has an additional effect that when it's special summoned, I can target a spell or trap card on your opponent controls and destroy that target. That kind of makes her a pseudo Stratos in that way. I mean, she's a decent beater. She's level 4. When you normal summon, you can search cards, and then she has an alternate effect that allows you to destroy spells or traps. I mean, obviously the conditions are a bit different, but like it's a pseudo Stratos. Obviously not limited to 1. Now that's the only Fascinating Fiend I run. The other 2 are kind of unwieldy. The 1800 one that looks like a spider, she allows you to activate hole and trap hole cards from your hand, which is kind of good. I mean, I run her in my Beatron build, but mainly because she's an 1800 insect and not much else. I mean, like the activating trap holes from the hand is kind of cool, but if your opponent just like destroys it with some trap or other effect, and then you have your trap hole in your hand, then you're kind of stuck. Otherwise, your opponent's just gonna be like, "Oh well, okay, you obviously have a trap hole in your hand. I'm just gonna wait, and I'm just gonna play around it, and bait it out." I mean, obviously you can use it to bluff, but it's not really worth a couple slots in your deck. Also prevents normal traps from being negated, which is okay, I guess, but really only Solemn Judgment is the only card that I'm really worried about in the meta. Everything else really won't matter too much. Like everything else is either non-meta or with specific decks and not really worth maining a Torah for that. But the other one is unwieldy, even though I really like her. It's 800 attack plant. Level 4 as well, 2000 defense, and she allows you to search for a Fascinating Fiend or special summon a Fascinating Fiend out of your deck whenever you activate a trap hole card. Now the effect is good, and the condition to activate that effect is really terrible, because all trap holes pretty much only activate when your opponent does something. So essentially you have to have this thing face up on your opponent's turn. Like, you want it in defense, but like the only way to get it face up without taking a lot of time is to summon it in attack, and then that just telegraphs right to your opponent like, "Hey, I have a trap hole, please summon so I can search." And then that one I wouldn't want to bluff with. I'd rather just activate it. If they bring out some more hole or trap hole cards, specifically ones that could be activated in your turn, then it would actually be really good. But until then, not very good. We have 3 Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. Like I said, is a ninja variant. The only thing I run is the normal transformation, because one of your targets is Tryon, and then your other targets are Wind Beasts for this deck, or at least my variant is. But I will show you those in a second. The second one and the first Wing Beast is 3 Mist Valley Falcons. It's a good beater. The deck is already kind of stunnish. I run 3 Fiendish Chain. I run Calls, which work well with Tryon. You can even bounce the transformations if you need to. But there's one other reason Falcon's in here, and you'll see that in a second. Also run 3 Deep Sea Diva and a Heavy Infantry to make a rank 2 engine, specifically to make Gotchi, just to make your beaters even better. Because it turns Falcon into 2400, Tryon into a 2000, and Hanzo into a 2200 attack monster. It takes those decently threatening monsters and makes them a lot more threatening. The reason I run Heavy Infantry over any other like rank 2, other level 2, is because if I draw Heavy Infantry, it's got a decent defense, and the fact that if I draw Heavy Infantry, I basically just wait till I draw a Diva, and then I can go Heavy Infantry, Diva, into another Diva, and either go for a Dark Mist, or I can make a Gotchi, or another rank 2, and then use the other Diva to make a Synchro with another level 4 that might be in the field. And then we have the third target to Mist Valley Apex Avians, which are the last reason I run Falcons. It's just being able to just summon an Apex Avian. They're kind of the reason I went with this variant, because I saw other people running it, and running Apex Avian just as a shenanigan, negate a couple cards monsters, seemed pretty cool to me. Seemed kind of fun. But basically you have this, you have Falcons, you bounce Falcons, or even bounce itself to your hand after a Hanzo searches it. So it could just be pretty fun. We'll see if I need to in the first place. I could just go down to 1, but I'd like to try 2 first. One last monster, I run 1 Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, mostly to bounce Tryons to my hand in order to play them and search for more trap holes. Onto spells, which we'll blow by in a second. We have 2 Pow Dualities, 2 MSTs, which I'm even downing if I need. Really, the only thing that really threatens me is Royal Decree, and that's kind of dependent on how often I'm going to be facing decks in the meta that have Royal Decree that I'm going to need to destroy it right away. We'll see. I may take them out. 1 Dark Hole and 1 Monster Reborn. And that's it, just those 6. And then our big trap lineup. We have 3 Fiendish Chain. Like I said, I have Falcons, so Falcon Control, kind of your main Falcon Control card. Use Fiendish Chain, negate stuff, bounce it to your hand, use it again. You know. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, kind of a duh card in a heavy trap deck, but also a very, very duh card when you're running cards that search trap holes. The other trap hole I have is 2 Void Trap Hole. In case you don't know what it does, when your opponent special summons a monster with 2,000 or more attack, you negate the effects of one of those monsters with 2,000 or more attack, and if you do, destroy it. I could run regular trap holes, or some of the other ones that are seem worth it, or even the Fascinating Fiend trap hole, but I think Void Trap Hole is superior to everything. Unless we get into a format where normal summons become key and not such summons, which is not what we have right now. But if that happens in the future, I'll switch to traps. I'll switch to just regular trap holes. I'm definitely going to size some of the other ones, but that's it for the main. We have 2 Ninjutsu Art of Transformation, like I said, to run the regular one. To search for Zephyros, Apex Avian, Falcon, and Tryon. 2 Torrential, 2 Mirror Force, 2 Call the Haunted in order to take advantage of Hanzo's special summon effect and Tryon's special effect. I have 2 Call the Haunted as well as 2 Abuse with Falcon. 1 Warning, 1 Judgment, and then 1 Starlight Road, just because I run so many traps. That's it for the main. Onto the extra. We have my rank 2 suite. We have 2 Gotchis, like I was talking about. 2 Daigusto Phoenix, a Shining Elf, and a Dark Mist. Now, I had misplaced my kind of key level 6 synchro, which is about the only thing I can make with Diva, which would be just Gaia, and I'm kind of missing it, so Shining Elf would go out for that if I can find it. But for now, this is what the extra looks like in terms of rank 2s. Now, obviously, the other thing you can make is rank 4s in this deck. We have my rank 4 suite: Emerald, Cowboy, Maestroke, Abyss Dweller, Photon Papper Operative, Roach, Utopia, and Shockmaster. Not really depending on rank 4s. I just make sure I have plenty of them just because I have everything else besides the 2s is 4 except for Apex Avian, and I'm not going to XYZ with Apex Avian. I'm never going to get 2 on the field anyway, so what's the point? Alright. Then one last thing, I run Stardust just because I run Starlight. And that's it for the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, if I switch to the Beatron build, I will show you what that looks like. And I will let you guys know how I'm testing once I actually get a chance to do some heavy testing with this one. Probably the next time I update the deck. Alright, this is KS87 out.